Back here in First Thing First, time for Say What? The NBA All-Star rosters were announced yesterday, and Russell Westbrook will join Team LeBron. You see his name there at the bottom? Well, he saw it and might have been a little bit confused. Say what?
Oh, that's cool, man. That's good, man. Finally got the team figured out.
That's how you really feel.
Well, I see I was the last pick on the list. I was just trying to figure out, you know.
Alphabetical. It was alphabetical.
See, I told you, man. Alphabetical order, man. Of course I was first.
So that was actually Carmelo Anthony who was sort of egging him on. Alphabetical order.
That's so good, man. Russ just creates, he's Jordan-esque in this sense. He creates things to be mad about. Added chip on his shoulder every night.
Well, he walks around with a ripped shirt. You don't think he's already angry at the world of fashion?
But he's also a kid in high school, wasn't recruited highly like most people. He didn't have the accolades other people at UCLA didn't believe into him. He was a late bloomer. Like, he's got reason to have chip on his shoulder.
Right. He's also the defending MVP who somehow convinced himself he could have possibly been the last pick of this draft. Like, is there a world that exists where Kristaps Porzingis, Victor Oladipo, and Kyle Lowry get picked in anything ahead of Russell Westbrook?
As a W, Wolf, always at the end of everything alphabetically. I get it. You get a complex, and sometimes other stuff seeps in.
LeBron, the only way Russell gets picked last if you go by fashion.
Oh.
Definitely last.
First overall
Nick, stop. Now, you need to stop. Like,
all right, time for some stories to start your morning. Another W. Tiger Woods shot even par in the opening round of the Farmers Insurance Open yesterday. 7 shots behind the leader and in range to make the cut. CC, how do you think Tiger looked yesterday?
Let's go to our resident golf expert, Chris Carter. Watched every single one of these holes last night. CC, what'd you see?
Tiger looked good. He's changed his swing. He's swinging more now with his body and letting his legs, taking the pressure off of his back. Puts more pressure on his glutes and his buttocks area. He looked very, very fit. He just didn't, his driver was a little inconsistent. I do like it. He's got a new driver, the new TaylorMade. All right, he's trying to work that in. His distance and power is there. His accuracy on his irons. Missed the green with 8-iron, 9-iron pitch iron, and a sand wedge, but didn't hit the ball close enough to the pin. When you are going to score, you got to hit the ball between 20 and 15 feet. He wasn't doing that yesterday.
What do you think of the fact that he was 0 for 12 on putts longer than 10 feet? Any concern there?
Well, they weren't 10 feet. They were 35 feet. I mean, they were too many long ones, especially he hasn't putted on Poena greens. Poena is different than bent grass. All right, for y'all out there, no grass superintendent. He hasn't played on Poena, which is very prominent in California in over a year.
Okay, CC.
Allah.
The NFL now, Drew Brees is a free agent, but don't expect him to test the market. According to a report, Brees said emphatically, I'm not going anywhere. CC, what do you think? Would it a smart move for the Saints to sign the 30-year-old to a big deal?
Yeah, they're going to sign him to a deal. Drew's not going anywhere. He's got a great relationship there, not only with the organization, but the one thing Drew is doing also is he's trying not to have the team strapped for cash. Like, he realizes they've gotten better defensively. They've added through the draft some younger players. So he's not in a hurry. They will sign him to a multi-year deal. He has no desire to go anywhere. It's a great partnership.
Let me ask you this. What's a fair per-year salary for Drew Brees?
What do you consider to be fair?
What do you think he should get per year?
$28 million.
$28 million.
$30 million, $90 million over 3.
Okay, so what if he came to them and said, I'll take 3 years for 75, but I want it all guaranteed. Yes. So you're going to get a bit of a discount, but I want every dollar guaranteed.
Yeah, it's hard to guarantee that last year when he's 42. The whole year. It's hard to do that.
Okay.
Like, you're setting yourself up for failure.
I figured, that would be the give and the take of it, right? That instead of the 28 early on, it's just something I think we're going to see a player do that sometime soon. Try to get the whole deal guaranteed at less per year, maybe not a 39-year-old.
To the NBA now, the Thunder won their 6th straight game last night, beating the Wizards 121-112. The aforementioned Russell Westbrook dominated. He scored 46 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. Nick, is this Thunder team over the growing pains? Are they primed to compete with any team in the West?
I think the answer to the first question is yes, they're over the growing pains. Are they primed to compete with the best teams in the West? Probably not. Like, they would need, in order to beat Golden State or Houston 4 out of 7, they would need Russ to be playing at A-plus level, Paul George be playing at A-plus level, and Carmelo Anthony be playing really well as well. However, what they are primed to do is potentially move into home court for the first round of the playoffs, something that looked like they had almost...
help.
It helps a lot. We thought they might have punted on that with their bad start. They're right now the 5 seed. They have the same number of losses as the 4 seed Minnesota, and San Antonio is going to come back to the pack a little bit with the Kawhi continued injury. So, yes to the first part, not sure on the second.
Also, I like the fact that they're playing better basketball the second half of the season. People sometimes get it screwed up. They think that the All-Star break is a halfway point in the NBA season. No, it's not. We're past the halfway point already. So you want to see your team playing good basketball the second half of the NBA season. That's what they're doing. Now, they can't sustain any type of injury. Keep that continuity. You need to keep everyone on the court.
All right, the Warriors beat the Timberwolves 126-113 last night. Pretty impressive. Even more impressive, how about Durant, Steph, and Clay combining to shoot 18 of 27 from 3? That's about twice as many as you're supposed to hit. Nick, are the Warriors unstoppable when they shoot like this?
I would say any team is unstoppable when they shoot like that. The issue is the Warriors are by far the most likely team to shoot like that in a given night. All 3 of their stars, 25-plus points. That had only happened 4 times in their year and a half together.
Watch how many open shots they shoot, though. Watch till somebody gets double-teamed. What? That's Steph, wide open. That's Durant, wide open. That's Clay, wide open. Their ball movement and the way they play makes it really special.
Absolutely. It's why they have more 40-assist games than essentially the rest of the league combined. What I was saying is those 3 guys each going for 25, it only happened 4 times as of 3 weeks ago. It's happened twice in the last 3 weeks. When that happens, they can't be beaten.
Finally, the NBA All-Star teams were announced last night. LeBron James drafted Kevin Durant, Anthony Davis, Boogie Cousins, and his former teammate Kyrie Irving in his starting lineup. While Steph will start alongside Giannis, DeMar DeRozan, Joel Embiid, and James Harden. Nick, who drafted the better team?
I mean, LeBron's team's going to be probably a 8-point favorite when Vegas sets the line on this. I think LeBron, if I'm doing the math right on this, I think LeBron took advantage of the fact not only that he had the #1 pick so he could get the best player available in Durant, but also I think he banked on the fact that Curry would bet what I bet, which is that LeBron wouldn't draft Kyrie. Because Curry either drafted DeMar DeRozan or Joel Embiid before Kyrie Irving. That doesn't make a ton of sense. And you might be like, oh, he already had a point guard. Well, it's the All-Star team. Like, that doesn't really matter. I think Curry thought he was going to be able to take Kyrie at the end of the starting draft. He wasn't. And then LeBron added to his team by Curry drafted his teammate, Klay Thompson, early, which allowed LeBron to get the best by far of all the reserves, Russell Westbrook. So LeBron's team is the favorite, is the better team here. I don't even think that's like an argument.
You didn't overthink it at all, so that's good.
I try to be thoughtful. You ask me questions on television.
Jenna, come on, you know how this goes. If LeBron would have drafted both of you got small kids. If he had drafted the kids that they play with in recess, Nick somehow would make some type of case that Vegas would make them the favorite, and somehow that we should
right?
Hold on.
It's an All-Star game.
Right.
Like, wait, hold on a second.
Like I put it up on the whiteboard, and this is the rotation.
It's an 8-point. LeBron's team's favored by 8 points. Really? Like,
will Vegas set a line, Chris?
Yes, they will.
Who's going to be the favorite?
I don't know, but an idiot whoever bets on it.
Okay, that's fine, but that's not the question. Jenna asked us who the better team was. I wanted to give
That was before I couldn't tell her I didn't know. Because I don't know who's going to play hard. Like, I don't know that. Like, when you watch an all-star team, like, you don't know who's going to be the best. Like, me trying to figure that out, I think they did a great job. I wish they would have telecast the whole thing. That to me would be more exciting than everything else.
Game
like,
itself.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Like, am I interested more in watching this all-star game than the ones in the past? No, not necessarily. Because they don't play hard. They don't play any defense. So I don't see either team.
You would have watched them draft if they televised the draft.
Yes, I would have watched that.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Do you have a guess? Who do you think were the last picks for each team? Because that's the whole reason they didn't televise it.
Right.
The whole reason they didn't televise it was because they thought it was going to be embarrassing for somebody.
It's going to be so embarrassing. The last guy, you're number 22 in the world.
Right.
Oh, my God. You're feeling, I'm so sorry. You know, so we're not going to do this on TV because you're only the 22nd best player in the world. Like,
they got to do what they did with the NHL, which is they promised the last guy drafted a new car, so everybody wanted to be the last guy drafted.
Jenna, I'm going to do a payroll right here. That's the last thing one of these needs is a new car.
Yeah,
they need a new car like I need a binky.
That is a good question. Who on this list, does anyone on this list not have $100 million?
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, I think the
That's more
question is
interesting.
no.
We should have done the whole salaries.
Like a car.
Points.
Back to the NFL, the Dallas Cowboys are home watching the Super Bowl for the 22nd straight year. They are coming off a disappointing season where they finished 9-7 and missed the playoffs. One player who took a step back is quarterback Dak Prescott. Jerry Jones believes they need to find a way to make him more comfortable next year.
We need to take advantage of what we have in Dak. A part of that will be expanding the playbook and expanding, not to be trite, but really becoming more problematic for defenses.
All right, so what do you think, Cece? Should the Cowboys change their whole offense to help Dak Prescott?
No, Jerry didn't say that. What he's talking about is the same thing they did with Jared Goff. When they got Sean McVay as a new coach, his teaching of the quarterback position, he added more volumes to the playbook compared to what they were doing in his first year. As a young player, no different than Tom Brady, what they do now in New England is totally different than what they used to. This is the way you groom young quarterbacks. You add volumes to an already very, very successful playbook. So the conversation is not how do we change it, it's how do we make it better. And there's a couple ways that they can get better on offense if they want to be able to help Dak out. They have to add more speed to the team. All right, so when you watch Dallas, they are a powerful football team, and they are all north and south. That means they are all vertical. They don't do anything horizontally, and they don't do anything to challenge the defense horizontally. So Jerry mentioned that. How can we challenge the defense? Another way is speed-wise. Their tight end, Jason Witten, God bless his soul. We got to put him out to pasture. I need someone who can run in the middle of the football field, and I need someone on the outside. They don't have a lot of perimeter speed. So if they're going to add volume to that offense, they're also going to have to do some things where they can run pass options with Dak, where they can throw quick slants the same way Philadelphia did with Nick Foles. That got them through the Minnesota game. But you got to be able to throw the ball deep down the field, and you have to have some perimeter speed. And they don't have that right now.
I'm more interested in what Dak is next year than almost any player in the league. Like, there is not more. I can't think of many guys. I guess Carson Wentz coming off his injury, Deshaun Watson coming off his injury.
Yeah, there's some other players, yeah.
The Rodgers, I feel like I know what he's going to do.
Carson Wentz.
So, but I mentioned him. Carson Wentz and two guys who are coming off injuries, of course. But guys that finish the year healthy. I can't think of many guys where there's a wider range of possible outcomes. Like, is it on the board that Dak is a better version of his rookie year, that they get him a dynamic weapon, that he's not as dead set on trying to create a relationship with Dez that doesn't exist, and that with Zeke there all year, he looks even better than he did in his record-setting rookie year? Absolutely. Is it also on the board, to me, that we, by the midway point of next year, look at Dak and say, man, that rookie year was the aberration. Like, there's a reason he was a fourth-round pick. There's a reason that his second year, not only did he not take a step forward, he took a step backwards. And it wasn't just because Ezekiel Elliott was suspended and they were missing the left tackle for a little bit. So I do think the Cowboys are in prime position, assuming they have a franchise quarterback on a rookie salary. And so that's what we're going to find out this year, that we know he's on a rookie salary. We know he's their quarterback. They're not going to have some type of backup plan. He's their guy. Right. The question is going to be, who is Dak Prescott really, which is a question I don't know the answer to.
And he's basically been given every opportunity to succeed next year. He's got Zeke back. He's got that offensive line. He's got the trust of Jerry Jones. He's going to have most likely his coach back that he had last season. Everything is in place for him to go back and have the same year he had 2 years ago. Now it's about whether he goes out and does it.
But the one thing you guys haven't taken into account that those 2 years, there's over 30 games of NFL film on Dak. All right, so that what people didn't know in the first year, now they do know. And if Dallas doesn't make some adjustments, I don't believe next year is a make-or-break year for Dak. He's still a very, very young player. Like, Dak doesn't have to play Pro Bowl level for me next year to say, you know something? Hey, guys, I'm off of it. Like, he could still go up and down for the next couple years. It is a hard game. It's a hard position to learn. And just because you have success early, that does not beget you success year 2, 3, and 4. It's a very important year for Dak. But to me, it's not a make-or-break year for him.
But didn't we all come down on Marcus Mariota for not progressing in the third year? Don't we take a lot of guys and say
Jameis
the third
Winston.
year? Yeah, the third year is when you really should break out.
Yeah, most of the people are upset, too, because they had predicted that. And then when they're wrong, they make the player look wrong. But the development of players, a lot of times, there's no book. Like, the biggest jump in a player is year 1 to year 2. That didn't happen for Dak. But there's no way... There's no situation where you don't learn more football than the NFL than you do from year 1 to year 2.
And that's what, to use the Mariota-Winston comparison, that's why year 3 for them was disappointing. It wasn't just because people got it wrong. It was because you saw them make significant strides year 1 to year 2. So people, I think, rightly anticipated, okay, year 3 they're going to be even better. Now with Mariota, we found out he was dealing with an injury throughout the year. We'll see how much that actually played into it. I don't know what happened with Jameis. What I do know is this, like, Dak can't, it may or may not be a make or break year, but what he can't do is regress from where he was in year 2. You can't have back-to-back years of regression, right? Like year 1 is here, then year 2 here.
That's not what you want. But I leave myself open that he could have a bad year. Like, just because we think it's a must year for him, it doesn't always play out that way. What if he gets nicked early? What if they don't make any changes? What happens? He's still, just like Marcus Mariota, you know when they start next year, what's going to happen? Even though he had a disappointing year, he's still the starting quarterback there. Jameis Winston, you know what's going to happen in Tampa? He's still the starting quarterback there. They're still in the process of developing. You don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. You continue to groom the baby.
All right. Coming up, which one team has a real shot to dethrone the Warriors? We've got a special guest that's going to lay it all out next.
What about those babies?